Holla ballers, what's going on? It's Preacher, and we're going to do some tanking today. Going to break it down into two sections. General tanking stuff. This is the more important stuff, I think. And then we'll get into some paladin stuff. So, before we kick off, check your group. Got a druid in here. He's just respect. That's alright. Keep an eye on your mana bar for your healer. Always. Super important. Then we're going to cast our buff. So he should be doing Kings with his Mark of the Wild. So I'm going to cast Mastery. Simple, simple stuff. Now, what do we assume whenever we get into a dungeon, people? That everyone is fucking terrible. Every single time, especially if you're the tank. Assume everybody is awful, which means for the first pack, this is going to be really telling. Your first pack is so crucial, guys. And the reason I rock a 5-man for doing tanking stuff is we run into far more scenarios than we would ordinarily find in, say, certainly if I was going to demonstrate something in LFR, I would like to show you everything in a raid, but come on, every single character, every single spec, unlikely. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing things like marks. Now, what can we see? Warlock, bad, heals, pretty good on the old heals. So, I'm pretty confident in getting some pace in this dungeon. As a tank, we are so the control of the group, right? We are the life and soul of dictating how this is going to go. If I look at the DPSs and I see generally that, you know, that in general that most of the group is, besides the Warlock so far, saving our interrupt is stun that. We'll stun it next. All good. Rebuke 6 seconds, so we'll drop a Hodge on that. Or a Fist of Justice, I should say. And we're controlling as much as possible. We assume that our group will not interrupt. All the time. We always assume that. Okay, the Void Pulse is over there. About to pop out here, probably. So, again, we're marking which is the most dangerous mobs. As the tank, you should always know, what are your most dangerous mobs? How can I make my group's life easier? Because it doesn't matter. It really does not matter, guys, who... It doesn't matter if you're, like, super experienced, or you see the Warlock's the guy taking the damage. It's pretty typical. We're going to see probably some things out of that Warlock, so you can always keep an eye on him if you want to see if there's anything fun going down. But as the tank, we have pure control over so many things that as a DPS or a healer, we just don't have control of. We have control over things like how much damage our group is going to take, how much damage our group is going to do. All these kind of things are what you need to be doing as a tank. You need to be aware of how important your role is. So... we're keeping a pretty steady pace here. I'm noticing my druid healer is not going out of mana at all, so we can probably pick up the pace even more, yeah? And that's how you decide on whether or not this is going to be a super fast run, is it going to be a super slow run, things of that nature that ordinarily you might be umming and ahhing about. But there's so many tells in the first couple of packs that decide that for you that it's so easy. So, obviously in this pack, we got the Mender is the most dangerous. So, go ahead and pull the Mender. Got Seraphim ready. Seraphim go. Hype. And go in and start doing this. Nice big AoE pack. Going to use a Divine Protection there just to soften the blow here. These things can hit pretty hard. Now, I'm saving my interrupts here just for this guy. And what you might see, there we go. Interrupt there. Couple of Divine Procs. Nice. Keep it going. Down he goes. And once I'm down to these mobs, I'm happy to move on. I've got Hots. So always bear in mind, what is your healer's style of healing? Is it hot-based? Cool. That means I can move. I can move quite freely without issue. So let's pull these. Seraphim on. Always keeping track of that Seraphim. So I'm going to interrupt that one and Hodge that one. Double stuns. Saving this Avenger's Shield now for the interrupts. Because your Avenger's Shield is so badass, guys. It's like some people don't recognize it. Another Avenger's Shield for that one. I'm locking down these mobs as much as possible, yeah? I'm not relying on my group to do interrupts at all. It's not going to happen. You see when I stopped interrupting how things kind of start happening? Yeah, that's what you've got to be aware of what's going on. So I've got an Avenger's Shield and cast it. Interrupt that one. That one's going to die. So I think a Hammer of Wrath is probably the best situation there. But as you can see, I'm not really talking about Paladin stuff yet. I'm talking more about just controlling this group, making sure everyone's having the easiest time possible. That was the easiest time. You might say, oh, people are low, Preacher. Maybe you should have gone a bit slower. Not really. Interrupts would have made that life a little bit better. Oh, we've got a lovely little quest here, so I'm going to grab that. Oh, there we go. Excellente. Excellente. Moving on. So, we're controlling things. How much damage are people taking? So, this is one that people always ask me about. It's like, Preacher, how do you really control how much damage people take? And the way we do that is we assume that most DPSs, certainly in random environments, I always do these in a completely random area, are people who are going to like run into runes and things. You see our Hunter's nearly dead already. He's like suiciding himself. That's okay. We always assume those guys aren't going to do things like interrupt. Yeah, we've already seen evidence of that. And they're not going to do things like move out of fire. They're going to basically rely on someone else to do the job for them, that kind of thing. So, as a baller, and I always bring back to this, you should be a baller. You should be the man in the group who's... Rogue's just sucking it up. You need to be the guy in the group who is handling the situation. Handle the situation, yeah? Seraphim on. Throw down a light's hammer on that. Stand in my orb. Nice. So, let's say there's fire all around, but you as the tank are absolutely fine and dandy. Where you're stood is great. That doesn't fucking matter, and I can't drill this into you enough. It doesn't matter if you are okay. You need to be checking all the time. Is your DPS okay? And that's how you're going to distinguish yourself from the other tanks. Are your DPS okay? Healers and ranged should be taking care of themselves, relatively speaking. That guy just blew up on a rune. Fuck you, rune. I like it. Excellent. So Daggerfall's over there. Nice. Keeping it real. We're safe as houses over here. And so for the melee DPS. So yeah, it's melee DPS I'm mainly talking about. Dagger on me. This area over here is reasonable. So I'm going to move through here as much as possible. I'm not going to stun it yet. I'm going to let it come a little bit. And stun it there, next to the dagger, so we can extract extra damage. This thing's going to make it to the boss. I guarantee it. Holy Wrath, hype. Did we do it? Nope. Nope. That's okay, though. That's okay. That's what's going to happen. So we're assuming things like that, okay? We're assuming things like our DPS is not going to move. So what we do is, although we're safe, is we do things like move anyway. Yeah? If we want to move as little as possible. This one's a little bit safer. We definitely want to move as little as possible because constantly moving around is not only very annoying, but actually causes a loss in DPS. We never want that. So we want to move as little as possible, but we also want to bear in mind, move for the melee. Make their life easier. And this isn't because I'm a melee DPS on my main. This is crucial information. If you start doing things like making sure your melee DPS is well taken care of, it doesn't matter how bad they are. It really doesn't matter how bad they are or if they're terrible players or anything like that. It really does not matter because whether or not they realize it, rebuff for the team, whether or not they realize it, you are making things easier. It doesn't matter if they realize it or not. It really doesn't. What you just want to do is make sure that is going to happen. Let's go out here and do this. Pop Seraphim. And we're going to stick in this corner. Just allow these to die. That thing's attacking me. I'm going to pop out and pop an Avenger's Shield on it. Yep. Like that. Because I'm always trying to create the death ball, yeah? Death balls is something I've talked about in a lot of my tank videos. Death balls. The best way of allowing people to DPS, again, this is something that matters, is to group mobs as best as possible. And the technique for doing that, obviously melee mobs will follow you around, is control of your casters. If you have a spell like Avenger's Shield or some sort of Interrupting Heroic Throw or Interrupting Fairy Fire, your crucial ability is to ensure that you're using them on casters to create the best death ball you can do. And then by proxy, again, this is all stuff that's going to happen naturally in the background, is people will increase their DPS. Their DPS will naturally increase because you're creating better cleave scenarios as possible. So it's really nice that I'm a Blood Elf, actually. I actually enjoy being a Blood Elf on my tank. Stun that to prevent the crypt. I can't really do anything about the next one, but that's okay. Come to daddy. Yeah. Interrupt him there, and that'll bring him down. Exhume the crypts. Go for it. I can move because I got an Avenger Shield proc. Cast that on those. I think I missed that one. Little Judgment. And I'm going to spawn this one as well. And then we're creating, again, a death ball. So now we can see... Oh, that worked out really nicely, actually. Our caster friend decided to follow us. Seraphim on. I'm going to save my... Light's Hammer. It would be nice because I would wreck the damage in all sorts of crazy ways, but that's not going to do it. So in these packs, guys, when you're tanking them, melee DPS is neither here nor there. We're going to be controlling that with our active mitigation, yeah? So as a paladin, that's our Shield of the Righteous. What we're always going to be doing is focusing our casters. And a paladin has this amazing ability to lock down casters like a fucking truck. Just checking healer mana. Druid needs some heals. Don't be that tank who fucking rushes in. Look at the healer mana, man. Just give him 2 seconds. 2, 3. Healer's good to go. Stand up, big boy. Make me a man. There we go. Boom. Tank's ready. When pulling a boss, guys... It doesn't matter if you're just getting into this. You see what I did there? I just turned him around. This is an instinctual ability that all tanks should have. If the only reason to do this, one, it increases melee DPS marginally. Absolutely marginally. Because they start DPSing from behind immediately. And that is something that matters sometimes in progress, right? Also, you don't know, especially if it's a new boss, you have no idea whether or not that boss... Right, we're going to pull some runes here. That is almost a guarantee. There it is. Yeah, predicted. There's Seraphim, and we'll go full Seraphim. I'm going to pull this guy away from there. I don't know, too late. And go for the Soul Steal, stun it. Do my deeps. Seraphim's so helpful there just to clear that guy out. Get this. I can't move him yet. Always think in position. You see what I'm talking about? I kind of am trying to drill into you position all the time. As soon as this guy becomes meleeable again, in fact, I'm going to move away now. I want this guy over here. What I don't want is this guy near the runes, because that's just going to create a whole fucking pile of dog shit. I've got my Seraphim about to proc again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it just 1 second. There we go. So I'm going to Seraphim and drop my Light's Hammer. That's going to be a really nice little extra deeps going in on the boss. Actually, I'll clear this guy out as people are DPSing it anyway, so let's get rid of it. I don't want the DPS to attack that, so I'll help in that damage just to make sure that happens a little bit quicker. And again, I'm always just concerned position here. This guy does have a frontal breath. So you can see I'm facing my back and the boss way away, and there it is. There's the breath. Use a little divine protection. It's glyphed in this case, so I'm taking some nice reduction in damage, magical damage as well as physical. A lot of these dungeons have got some nasty physical damage in there, and that's going to be the end of this guy. Not bothered about Seraphim for the last one because we've got an AoE pack next. Down he goes. Always be aware in mind of how trash packs works, guys. So we're going to pull this pack. I'm going to pull this here because a lot of people wipe here. So what I like to do is pull that there. Now that's going to spawn this ad over here. Always a pain in the ass. There he is. Go and pull him in because we're trying to create a death ball. So there's another pack round there that's also pulled. So I'm not bothered about them yet, right? What I'm not bothered about is doing them yet. What I'm waiting for is that proc there. Yo, come to me. And again, we're just creating a death ball, but we're creating it safely. I'm not asked if that thing's attacking me from range. That's okay. That's okay. And this guy, come here. And we're just trying to create as much DPS cleave as possible. I want people to be naturally cleaving. And you can see we've got this pack nicely arranged. Patience. Such a fucking virtue. Be patient. Let your abilities come off. I know my Avenger's Shield procs an awful lot. I know it happens. So why the fuck would I rush in there and have mobs all over the place, take a ton of burst damage? By pulling them round that corner, I built some time to allow the healer just to wake up, realise I've pulled trash again, and we're on our way. You can see Healer Man is nice and good. There's a patrolling mob here, but he's out of the way. So we're going to zoom down and move on. This is all about control. Please understand, as a tank, that you're so the control of the group. Every single time, you are the absolute control. So, I always worry here. If I was in a guild group or something like that, I wouldn't give a shit. But I'm not. Now, someone's left the group. That's alright. It was probably after a quest item or whatever. A lot of that going on these days, as you guys well know. Lights hammer down. Little packs like this poison can be quite nasty that comes from the bats. There's also the absolutely tiny, ludicrous chance that we can walk past these without pulling the bats. Now, I'm going to try it because all that's around the corner is some little fucking spiders. Again, knowledge of your knowledge of your dungeons is so key. It really is. Now, but I'm going to look around me as I do it because that's going to happen. There you go. You see? But we're ready for it. We're not going to be like, oh my god, why you pull the bats? No, I'm not tanking them. You're so bad. I don't expect people to do that. I never expect people to do those things. I really don't. And I fucking hate when tanks go on this sort of like elitist rage because they did something that they planned for. They didn't tell the group about it. They didn't do anything like that. But they go on this mad fucking, I know how to do something and you don't rage. And it's totally pointless. I expect people to pull stuff there. Maybe one day they'll learn, maybe not. But what I want is a nice, fast, smooth, safe run. That's what I'm after in every dungeon. So we're going to here. My focus here is going to be the big spiders. Death Venom is obviously very dangerous, which means I'm going to save my Avenger's Shield for Death Venom. And that means I've got Death Venom interrupting that one and an interrupt on that one. And there we go, you see? Nice and easy. And that reduced all the damage I was going to take by, like, hilarious amounts. So it's little things like that that's so important. It's also why being a tank and interrupting, don't be that fucking tank. Oh my god. Don't be the tank who's like, melee DPS should interrupt. Never expect that. In any dungeon, you are a Prot Paladin. That means you have fucking Avenger's Shield, right? Procking all the time, which carries with it a fucking interrupt, and really like being arsey about it. And you know the guys, you've run into them every single time who's like, oh my god, you shouldn't be doing that. Where's the interrupts, guys? Fuck that. This is a random pug of who knows who. Now, little situation here. With moments like this is again one of those things where there's obviously a danger of an injure pull. And I'm just going to make sure we're not getting body slammed, which is always nice. Now you can see I'm just controlling it here because I'm waiting until this thing's nearly dead. Now I'm going to pull them. And you might think, well, can you not get the group to sneak past? Honestly, my fucking entire raison d'etre on this type of situation is never expect people to do that stuff. Certainly in a random puck. You'll also notice that I'm dispelling myself. This is crucial in WoD to be good at this. You can dispel yourself, and believe me, it's so worthwhile. I meant to press Seraphim then and didn't because I'm a big noob. Now you can see this poison is like the most deadly thing ever. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to give myself a word of glory. First time I've had to do that in a dungeon, by the way. So props to our healer. A little bit of a late Seraphim there, but whatever. We're more than fine. In terms of Paladin stuff, let's move on to the Paladin stuff, because if I could talk about tanking all day and show you a million examples of things, but hopefully you're paying a little bit of attention and you'll pick up on those. In terms of Paladin stuff, like rotation, people always are very concerned about things like that. Literally, my rotation is pretty fucking easy as a Paladin. One, I want to keep a track of my Shield of the Righteous. Yeah, I mean, it's 3, 2. I'll try not to refresh it until it's on like 2 seconds if I get a lot of Divine procs. And on top of that, I'm just paying attention to things like Seraphim. I'm letting it drop a little bit while I'm talking to you guys. In terms of generating holy power, that's all we're trying to do, is just generate nice holy power. The way we do that is a little bit of priority towards Crusader Strike, but prioritize any spell that gives you holy power, and you'll generally have a good time. The difference between it is so marginal. So marginal if you're trying to like super optimize yourself that it's really not worth it. Oftentimes you'll be delaying, well, not delaying, but you'll be using abilities while you're at 5 because Seraphim comes off cooldown in like 2 seconds. So you don't want to be like fucking up on there. So I saved some holy power for this boss, so I can go straight in with a Seraphim. Light's Hammer has little to no purpose here, so I'm going to drop it here. And let's say for another Paladin stuff is just if you have the free time, which you'll do, where like Crusader Strike and stuff's on cooldown, that's when you're going to drop in your Consecrations and your Holy Wrath, yeah? Other than that, just prioritize anything that gives you holy power. It's as simple as that, guys. It really is as simple as that. It's not something to get yourself all beat up around. Got an Inhale coming. They're quite far back, so I'm just going to move away. There's the Inhale. I'm just standing here. I've learned over time you can do like little bits of extra DPS by waiting and using things like a burst of speed to try and get some little extra damage in there. What I found is it's just so much safer on occasion. Even me, with like fucking ridiculous years of tanking experience, I'll run into the scenario where I got inhaled. It happens because you're trying to like push every little squeeze out of it. This is not challenge mode. This is fucking heroics. We want safety first every single time. Safe and smooth. What's worse? Is it possible to do it if I was max focused? Of course, it's easy. Inhaling coming. Just going to move away. Yeah, I'm going to go stand over here. Yay. Nice and easy. Do as much range damage as I can do. Little Light's Hammer for your face. There you go. Warlock now number 1 on the damage. So what we can say is, again, there goes our healer. So I'm now aware. Got to pay attention to this stuff. Our healer is now inhaled. So hopefully he's going to come back, but we're not relying on it. Oh, there's 2 of them that are inhaled. Carrion Warriors, go away. He's topping the damage because he's doing some AoEs. And again, moving to the side. Frontal Cone, again, even on scenarios where it's like every boss, aim it away from as many people as possible. I can't stress this enough, guys. This should be such a natural instinct. I probably don't talk about it as much as I would like to, despite the fact you guys have probably heard it a fucking million times. But I do it so naturally. It's approaching a boss, I move it as far away as possible from the melee. Just for whatever fucking reason. It doesn't matter. Even if it serves no purpose. If it serves no purpose, it doesn't matter. You should be doing it naturally. And you should be surprised. The scenario should be surprised, like, oh shit. So I've got Seraphim off, but we've also got Inhale coming, so I'm just going to chill over here. And I'll pop Seraphim as we come out. I'm not particularly asked about super epic maximization. Doesn't matter. Blessing of Freedom on. Why? Because we're a baller tank. Nice. Seraphim on. The Light's Hammer. Come on, come back up there. Be a bro. Oh, boo. Boo and a hiss. There he is. Oh, there. Speed of Light to get back to him. And again, instantly just moving off to the side. And I fell in. Fucking body slam was coming at me. What a bastard. Oh, I'm still tanking it, though. Check me out. I'm fucking next level. I can't attack, though. And I've got to go all the way around. Wow. Did I fuck this up? I'm not going to take it out of the video. Happens. What are we going to do? Way! Hop. Hop. He's still looking at me, though. Hop. Yeah. Get me. Get me. Body slam me. Knock me back in. I had no idea, though. This is curious to me as well. I had no idea that this boss still targets you even if you're like, oh, an inhale. That one's safe. Oh, it was safe. Now I'm going to get inhaled. That's a fucking dope. Oh, wow. The worst scenarios of all time just popped up. I managed to pop Bubble just before. You notice I didn't take any damage. The emergency Bubble. The inhale was there, and the inhale abandoned me. That's okay. The inhaling thing abandoned me. He's still alive? Holy shit, this guy's a tryhard. Just die, dude. You're making me look like a scrub. There we go. All good fun. All good fun. No worries at all. But you can see it's all about just positioning and movement. All the time. All the time. Just positioning and movement. Nice and easy. All the time. Now, I'm just watching here. This pack's particularly nasty. As much as I'd like to run off, you might have guys going the wrong way. Like our friend here. And here they come. Now, I care about the healer, obviously. That's my main goal. Always bring these in. This is going to be a fucking total Seraphim Lights Hammer. Blow the fuck up, die. Depoison myself. Do all the good shit. Death Venom. Get out of here. Don't want you. Death Venom. Interrupt. Nice. Nice. All good. Reducing as much damage as possible. Dispel myself. All this kind of stuff. Doesn't matter if anybody knows that you're doing it. Doesn't fucking matter. Nice and easy. Down we go. Healer a little bit So obviously the next pack, as you guys probably know, is one of the, especially if you've healed it, one of the more difficult ones. Just purely down to the fact that you can't be stunned or anything like that. Yay! I can maybe stun now. They didn't used to be able to be stunned. Maybe they can. Depoison. Woo! I love that they kept their graphics since vanilla. It's one of those old school things that you won't know unless you're in vanilla. They kept that stupid fucking swirly thing. Alright, put a skull on it. So when I put a skull on things, I still don't expect any interrupts. We've got a warrior and a rogue, but I'm going to be focusing my interrupts on the other one. So you'll see I'll pull here with a judgment. Pop Seraphim. There we go. Nice. Double interrupts. Excellent. I'm really going to try and focus on this one. Oh, it can be stunned now. That's excellent. So let's use a Arcane Torrent. Shouldn't have used my... Bit slacky by me. There we go. I didn't want to use my Avenger's Shield on that, but I did. So what are you going to do? Oh, look at all the procs, though. Another interrupt. And even like something as simple as reducing it to 1 is decent enough, right? If we can reduce it down to 1, that's probably going to help. So I've got an Avenger's Shield for the next one. Cast, interrupt, excellent. Still going to pop a Seraphim here. Go. I used it. Don't matter. And down you go. Yay, easy. So on the next boss, this is actually something I think, luckily, we're in this dungeon for. We're going to be doing two things in this dungeon. This is, again, why being a tank is so fucking incredible. We're going to be making sure that DPS has the best time possible. We're also going to be marking the bones. And we're also going to be controlling Ner'zhul in a way that prevents, like, people getting caught in Malevolence. A lot of tanks, like, don't realize how dangerous the Malevolence spell is and try and do stupid things like help kill the bones. It's been a long time. This boss has been adjusted and adjusted and adjusted so many times that helping with Malevolence shouldn't be a thing. So we're going to start in the middle. That means that ranged DPS can go balls to the wall straight away. There's the Malevolence. Again, you do have to take some consideration. If I was to run right to the back of the room, that would make the range start running around, all that kind of shit. Don't want that. So, there's another Malevolence. Now, we can do two things here, depending on how confident you are. One, we're just going to straight up mark that target. We're going to drop a Lights Hammer right in the middle. In between each Malevolence, you can see it's got a 6-second cooldown. We could just put some damage in it, but our main goal is to aim Ner'zhul away from that fucking Bone Mender. Ritual of Bones, right? And the reason we do that is pretty fucking simple. Is we don't want people getting caught in it. Now, when the bone dies, you'll notice I'm not following the group. There is no reason for me to go through there at all. What I am going to do is fucking chill here until someone drops a fucking thing there. And then I'm going to get the hell out of there. My original intention was to chill there and let all the DPS move through and nice and safe. And therefore, Malevolence, again, will not be cast on the group. And that would make life easier. So that's all I wanted to do. So hopefully on the next pack we can do that. Hopefully the ranged will spread out somewhat. There's the Ritual of Bones. So it would make sense to cast it there. I'm moving to the side here. I want Malevolence to go off to the side. Cast it to the side. Go on. There, see? That shouldn't affect anyone. So I can go in and do a little bit of damage. And then I'm going to move Ner'zhul off. I've got like 2 seconds on Malevolence. Cast it that way. Excellent. You see the way it's all nice and safe? And then I want Ner'zhul to come here. Let the ranged move away. That's what I want to happen in all situations. I want the ranged to move away. I want the melee just to stay near here. I want the Malevolence to be a non-factor in this fight as much as humanly possible. And just chill here. Really no reason to... You want to avoid as much as possible. You can't help it sometimes. You saw earlier, if the ranged all like sort of stack up on you and... they're going to create the AoE really close to where you are. There's not much you can do about that, unfortunately. You're just going to have to roll with the punches. But your best intentions are there. Your intentions are to keep Malevolence as just a non-thing. For other than you can handle Malevolence. Though all you have to do is move the fuck out of the way. There's the Ritual of Bones. There's Malevolence. Let's get a mark on it, just in case. What will happen here is you might be thinking, Preacher, can't you just kill the boss? I don't trust a pug to do that. Simple as that. I just don't trust a pug to do that. I don't trust a pug to do that. So, we've got a group here. I'm going to stand, like, here. Now, you see the Warlock there? I'm trying to position myself in a way that will make sure that Malevolence doesn't go anywhere. Pop a cooldown. And I'm going to pull it over to the side. Everyone grouped up on it. There's nothing much you can do about that. A little bit of stress for the healer, but I'm aware of it. I've still got shield wall and all sorts of shit ready to go. And down you go. Nice and easy. As you can see, tanking is very much about thinking about what's going to happen next. How can I make this easier for the DPS? How can I make this easier for the healer? As a Prot Paladin, you have infinite choices on doing that, and hopefully I demonstrated some of those for you there. Alright guys, that's your tanking guide. Take it easy. Bye-bye.